When I was 9 years old, I went with my parents to a place in the California desert called Giant Rock Airport, where flying saucers were said to have landed. It was a gathering place for believers in such things, and they spoke of taking rides in Venusian starships and of aliens who wore loose-fitting sweatsuits. They frightened me, and I guess they were crazy. But I've often wondered if, in teetering on the edge of insanity, they hadn't actually reached a sort of enlightenment. After years of avoiding further contact with the fringe dwellers, I am now in the desert again, with my friend Mike, a student of saucer lore, on the way to a place he describes as the new Giant Rock, the new UFO Mecca.
It's the area where the rumors are that the government is test flying either recovered flying saucers or flying saucers that they have built themselves, back engineered from alien technology.
We're certainly in UFO country now. I had a dream once in which these kind of jellyfish objects appeared off the coast, and I'm standing on the beach, and they sort of gently descend onto the sand in front of me, and then a being came out of one of these devices and addressed me as Kuluban.
I'm really not sure if I'm ready for these forays into the land of sky mystics. There's an aura of paranoia out here. Somewhere over those hills they used to test atom bombs. And I have a sense that even now I can feel the fallout wafting across the highway.
Yep.
Which way's the wind blowing?
We're here.
And if you see that range right over there, that's what they're behind. That's the range.
Mike already knows the folklore of this place.
You look right down into Area 51.
The secret airbase whose existence is officially denied, where weird lights are seen dancing on the horizon.
Broom Road. You honestly want to drive down that, Mike?
Well, what are we here for?
What do you see out there?
Well, we're heading down Mailbox Road toward Groom Road, and we see two converging trails of dust, like two cars racing toward each other from different roads. We don't quite know what to make of it.
If there are aliens over the ridge cohabitating with Air Force personnel, Mike wants to know.
It could be their private security force, Wackenhut. They call them camo dudes for their camouflage fatigues.
What's this intersection, Mike?
This is the intersection of Mailbox Road and Groom Road here. We are now turning down Groom Road towards the facility. I have this sense that we're getting closer and closer to no man's land. And I'm frankly getting a little leery here. But I feel committed to going on at least to the sign that says I can't go on any further. We've already passed a sign that says don't take any more pictures, and we're breaking that rule. Roads get, oh, here comes the sign. Here comes the sign. Let's see what it says.
What's this one say? The first one, can you read it?
Restricted area. No trespassing beyond this point. Warning. Nellis bombing and gunnery. Off limits to unauthorized personnel. I still don't see anything about lethal. It is unlawful to enter this area without permission of the installation. While on this installation, okay, it doesn't say anything about you'll be shot.
What'd you see up there, Mike?
It's some sort of probably a motion detector device of some sort.
Just to the left of the sign, huh?
Yes, do you see it?
Yes, I do.
You get a good steady shot of that.
Right. You want to go up closer to it?
No. We're gonna get out of here now.
Well, we went to the edge of this road as far as we could go. I mean, there was more road beyond these signs, but these are fairly serious signs. So we stepped back, but we're certainly in an area where, just if only because of its history, things potentially could happen or might happen or do happen. I mean, there's a lot of mythology written about this very area that we're standing in, and it affects the way you perceive it. And it's very quiet and it's very beautiful. Mike, there's dust coming from just beyond the ridge.
Oh! getting the hell out of here because as we were there, Steve spotted dust coming towards us. So we figured that maybe they're sending a vehicle after us. So we're gonna try and get the fuck out of here. Here it comes. It's behind us.
No.
I'm stepping on it.
Well, maybe you shouldn't.
Well, let's see.
Just take it easy. I mean,
Okay.
don't. You're admitting guilt or something here.
Okay, if they pull us over.
Well, just say we came to the UFO. We stopped at the sign.
Yes,
we didn't go beyond the sign.
Beyond the sign.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Turn it on.
Turn it on?
Turn it on yourself.
It is on myself. I'm scared. I don't know who these people are coming behind us. Huh?
Is the camera on?
Yes, it's on.
Running.
It's running.
Turn it on yourself.
It's on myself. Watch out. Watch out here.
Right now, Steve.
I'm scared. I think just keep driving well, and I don't think we broke any laws. We went to the sign, and we're curious, and we were part of the UFO weekend.
Yes.
We mean no harm.
No. I'll just pull you along here. That's right.
That's right.
If it wants to catch us, it's going to catch us.
Are they still behind us?
I don't know. I just see dust.
Yeah.
But I saw a flash back there before.
Yeah, right.
I know there was a vehicle back there.
Yeah. So I think once we get to this crossroad here, we'll be all right, don't you? Because that's a mail road.
I think so.
I think there's some neutrality there.
Yes.
How far are we from that place?
Hopefully not too far.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Mary Merrier, and I'm in Rachiel, Nevada, and we're a few miles from Area 51, and I first learned about Area 51 from the Billy Goodman Happening.
In 1989, Billy Goodman's late-night Las Vegas radio talk show was the first exposure most people had to the strange goings-on at Area 51.
Without the key, time to uncover.
And I say hello, and hello to you. Welcome into your Billy Goodman Happening, the only scientific spiritual happening anywhere in the entire universe. I used to get phone calls from people who worked at Area 51 and related stories to us. Some of them were horror stories, such as that they had alien in captivity, such as there were flying saucers on this base at Area 51. Anyway, going on right now, as we speak, is a big gathering out of this place called the Little Ailey Inn. And the Little Ailey Inn is out in a town called Rachiel, which is about 140 miles northwest of Las Vegas, and I'd say about 13 miles north of this area known as Area 51, one of the top secret bases anywhere in the world.
Little Alien.
Hi, is that Pat?
You bet it is.
Hi, Pat. We're talking with Pat Travis. She is the proprietor of this place called Little Ailey Inn. You have to see this place, folks. It's probably something you've only seen in the movies. And people come from all over the world.
Yeah.
Why do they come out to see your little place?
There's been a lot of UFO activity in our area, and we're a little place that you can talk about such things.
Well, I think they exist. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a niece that was taken out, but she doesn't like to talk about it. She just won't talk about it.
My name is Ambassador Merlin. I'm from the Star Draconis. I'm an ambassador to the United States. I am an ambassador with the Nevada embassies for the Saucerians, the local embassy in Miracle City, Nevada at 7777 Comstock Highway in Miracle City, Nevada, and there is the Las Vegas embassy for the Saucerians, which just has a phone number. This is my card that I was reading from, my ambassador card.
There definitely has to be maybe at least 3 or 4 story underground, some kind of a think?
Well, there's positively an underground complex there from 3 different people that I've spoken to that have actually claimed to have been in the underground complex. They say it goes down 22 levels, which would probably be something like 1,000 feet or more down.
But the legend goes that we're working on some off-world technology, or some segment of the government is secretly working on some off-world technology over the hills here at a place called Papoose Dry Lake, S4, according to Bob Lazar. And that this off-world technology is being back-engineered, torn apart to try to find out how it works and how we can duplicate it, which makes sense.
And then I see this. This object rose from the area of where Papoose Lake is. I would see it blast across the valley over towards the mountains near the test site, blast back, come flying around. Here's a time exposure, approximately 10 seconds of it doing what I call the wobbling and wallowing.
Okay, here's the one. Then directly, another one appears to our right of it. And then there's 2 of them. And hey, boy, this is great. This is cute.
Yep.
And then this one on the right, this little light starts slowly trailing out from it, like a laser light.
And over to the east, this huge cigar-shaped object popped up and was coming in rocking. And I left-brained this phenomena away, thinking this is a huge 747 that's out of control. It's going to have to land in this valley.
When suddenly rays of light were coming from the ground, and I suddenly saw this thing lifting off the ground.
And then about 2-3 nights after that, then they flew this scout ship over my backyard where I could, it wasn't at night, it was at dusk again.
It was like up there shooting towards Rachiel.
Coming that way, and then another one came this way.
We saw 2 of them come through, and as they came through, 5 more behind them, 7 total.
And it was a cigar-shaped object with 6 orange lights in the middle. It was dark inside the cigar shape, and there's a corona of gold and white electrical stuff coming out around it. A little red ball was following it.
Kind of like looked like the ship's shape was similar to a Crown Royal cap.
And suddenly I saw that there was a craft of some sort at very, very low altitude that came and hovered right above my truck.
And they got it right over my head, and they turned the lights on and off, and they let me see the bottom of it, and they let me see the windows in it, and they moved it around, and it was just like the man's pictures. I mean, there was no, hell, if it that close, I could hit it with a rock as far as distance, you know.
Then these blue lights, like these blue windows, went out, and then 2 white lights turned on.
And about that time, a car came up over the rise, and this thing was like people flipping switches. These lights went out, and then the little red ball went out, and there was nothing but stars.
And at the end of it, then
boom, they came together in a circle, boom, and then instantaneously blew out like a bomb, boom, boom, into a 7-pointed star kind of thing. And then came down low and followed us and began to hopscotch each other and play games as they were following us all the way back out to the highway.
Well, I was lobbying the Nevada legislature to basically just to recognize that Area 51, being in Nevada, is actually a U.S. government and extraterrestrial alien base. And my response to those efforts was that Assemblyman Bob Price from Las Vegas said that he wants to have this highway that runs through Rachiel from U.S. Highway 6 coming out of Tonopah to U.S. Highway 93 that comes up out of Las Vegas, this Highway 375. He wants it to be officially designated by the state of Nevada as the Alien Highway. And that's a good step, I think, in the direction of making full government recognition of what's going on here. It's a good first step.
Where are you seeing it?
Over there, are they? They're all they're big, as big as a county. They're cloaked. But go ahead and film. You never know what's going to show up.
Okay. So what is it I'm looking for?
the big Syrian motherships, and they're in the clouds.
Now, how can you tell that their ships are out there?
They were just talking to me. I mean, you can't miss it.
Did they say, we're here, look for us? Or?
No, they just said hi, and I said, oh, hi. I was, fooling around the car, and I went, oh, hi, guys, you're here. We're here. That's it. It's simple. It's very simple.
Is this particular alien designed after a particular style?
No, it's more or less kind of a standard composite of a lot of different descriptions that people have given to some types of being that they claim that they've encountered. So I just take the descriptions and put them together like a criminal suspect composite.
That's a hybrid, an older hybrid.
They're about 8 feet tall, and like these little lizards that run around in the desert, that's the skin color.
Lizards, you ever see lizard ears?
Yeah.
Well, that's what their ears look like. They're flat up against their head.
Here's a close picture of Dorado. Dorado is the ones that do a lot of the abduction, and they're the little guys, the real little guys.
You have in this world, you have Chinese. They got the hats on there yet too.
So what's the difference between Chinese and African or something?
You got Chinese, Africans and all that, but you see that that's my, the article I had.
Large, black, almond-shaped eyes, and you feel such an intense love from their eyes that you just get lost in their eyes.
I have an alien I feel that travels with me, and I know it now I've known it for some time that this being travels with me.
And these are, I'm not an artist, these are my beings that these are the little guys, and this is this, but like I said, I'm not an artist. There's some artists in here, but not me.
I've named him Archibald.
So do you communicate with him often, or?
All the time. I'm from Sirius. Sirius A, not Sirius B. There's a planet of Sirius A very similar to Earth.
And that I actually was lifted into this craft and met one single individual who was about 6 feet tall, but had the face of a typical gray alien with the teardrop-shaped eyes, and was wearing a uniform with a symbol, a kind of a triangular symbol on it.
I was doing 55 coming across Tikaboo Valley. Something told me, Pat, slow the van down. I heard the words. I got down to 35 miles an hour, and there were 2 black bulls in the middle of the road. Had I been doing 55 miles an hour, I would never have been able to stop the van. Was it Archibald? I think so.
And all I could feel from this being the whole time I was with this being was that he had some concern over my physiology, because he had remotely detected that my adrenaline was rising and I was about to have a heart attack.
And Earth was created as a realm of total freedom. Anything goes here, and we've got everything. We've got star visitors from everywhere. Good uns, bad uns, ugly ones, whatever. We've got everything, and same with the people.
And one particular thing stood out because I had a question of why he was out here, and he said he was concerned. And I said, what were you concerned about? He was concerned because some branch of the military out on this base was experimenting with a time machine.
Okay, we're following Misha Johnson, the contactee from Las Vegas, and a couple of friends of hers to the dry lake bed over here, because the one girl whose name is Deborah believes that she had a vision in her meditation about a flat white place that was a portal to a time portal or a dimensional portal.
See that white stuff, Mike?
Yeah.
That's what it was like, but it was just like a manhole size, and it had just white on it. Everywhere else was dark dirt. Oh!
Oh my God.
Hey! I got it!
That's just what you described.
Amazing. Now, when I came up, turned around, there was the mound. Does that look familiar?
I was disappointed they didn't find the portal. But what does it say about me that I thought they might? The range of belief systems on display here is a bit intimidating. I need some grounding, some element of reality to hang on to so I don't get sucked into that portal myself.
Well, I think what launched so much of the folklore in this region is not so much the base at Groom Dry Lake over the mountains here. I think the folklore got its boost, its impetus from a man, Glenn Campbell, that moved into the neighborhood, and he began inviting news people up for stories that he was doing on the folklore and the legends and so on.
Okay, I'll lead you in. You're the talent.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
We'll follow you.
This is the research center. I was a programmer, a computer programmer in Boston, Massachusetts. I got interested in the UFO tales, and one of the tales that I heard in the published literature was the story of this mysterious black mailbox out on a remote desert highway. Supposedly you could come out to this remote location any Wednesday night and just see the sky rip open with UFOs.
To the frustration of the rancher who owns it, the black mailbox has become the mystical epicenter of the Dreamland legend, where the faithful gather to await visitation by the gods.
This is Tikaboo Valley. It's here where the people come to look for UFOs. There's a presence here. I mean, there's stories of things that have been seen out here at night, you know, from UFOs flying all the way across the valley and stopping right here on the road to like strange luminous ball-like creatures that bounce along the highway and follow your car.
I don't know, anything could happen here. It's like the inside of a vacuum. I mean, that's what I feel in my ears. I mean, it's, except for the occasional buzzing of a U.S. government drone horsefly, specially trained to track us. I don't know. This could be it. This could be it. This really could be it.
It's a dead cow.
I'll say.
Right alongside the road, so one might assume that a car might have hit it, but then you never know. I wonder if its rectum has been cored out.
I'm sorry?
Well, you know, in cattle mutilations, they core the rectums out, they take the tongue, they take its sexual organs.
Is there a way of determining whether that has been done?
Not at this stage, I don't think.
Yeah.
This has been here a while. Have you met the ranchers around here? What do they think about this? About all the people coming
rancher,
down here?
there's only one rancher, and he doesn't have much to say. The only thing that really hurts him is when somebody hits a cow. I mean, that really hurts him in the pocketbook. A couple people have hit cows around here and then fled. It's happened a couple times.
We're headed back down Groom Road again, this time with someone who knows the terrain.
I can monitor the security channel, but it's scrambled most of the time.
How did you first discover the motion sensors?
Just by stumbling over one. A friend of mine stumbled upon one by mistake. Once we found one, then we could run over it a few times and analyze the signal, use the frequency counter to find out what frequency we're talking about. And we were able to detect all of them. You see there's a little bar graph at the bottom. You don't see it now, but when the signal goes off, you see a little pulse at the bottom.
There was one, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Pulse?
There was a pulse, yeah.
Oh.
Ah.
Offended? Boy, am I offended at that.
What?
Censor, I'm offended. Of course.
First sensor, or is there another one back there that we passed?
There's 5 on this road. We passed a couple.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you want to get by and you don't want to be detected, the proper method is not. We used to disconnect the antenna, but that's not the approved method. The approved method is to disconnect the power, like that, and then you drive by and then you reconnect it again, and they won't know you're here.
Glenn Campbell's on a mission, but it's not about UFOs.
My position is government secrecy. I'm interested in the UFOs, but to get to the UFOs, you have to go through government secrecy.
And Campbell loves to make things difficult for those who hold the secrets.
Looks like we have 3 or 4 vehicles that have left mailbox. They're putting 17 in a position of almost imminent contact, so I advise
there they 17. Are. Silhouetted against the sky on the hill.
We will watch from here, and if anybody follows them in, well, then we got to do what we got to do.
He leads field trips to the only points from where Groom Lake can still be seen: Whitesides Mountain and Freedom Ridge.
So who discovered that you could see it from Freedom Ridge? You did?
I did. I named it.
How long ago was that?
That was June 30th, 1993.
The road that stretches out across the valley here, that's the Groom Boulevard that heads into the base from Highway 375. And twice a day, there's a white bus that has blacked out windows that picks up workers. In the morning it picks them up about 7 o'clock over at the junction of Highway 375 and 93. And it brings them in here, takes them into Area 51 where they work, and then at 4 o'clock it reverses its track and brings them back out and drops them back off out there. It's at the ruins of an old gambling casino there at the intersection. But it's a regular daily bus trip that comes out here 5 days a week.
I made it.
Ah, not yet.
There it is, Groom Lake.
We find ourselves on Freedom Ridge, overlooking the Groom Lake facility here, Area 51, Dreamland. We're kind of sequestered ourselves on the opposite side of the ridge a little bit so that the spotters can't see what we're up to. And we are being observed by cameras as well as human individuals with high-powered scopes. So we're trying to play it pretty cool up here. But this is the place. These must be the place. Yeah, Dreamland.
We are overlooking Groom Lake, watching the security people watch us.
There are 737 sitting there. Oh, they must have some of their hazardous burning going on.
Looking over the test range now, we see where they shot up flare.
They've got to have a lot of Igors to protect those Frankenstein factories out there.
From Juneau, Alaska.
Medical experiments on human beings.
We came here in 1975. There was 52 construction workers, 3 women, 2 teenagers, and 2 babies. We had no power. We had 1 water well. The women learned to go out at night when the men were all working and fix the generator in the middle of winter because it was so cold we had to keep our kids warm. And there was no store, no bar, no nothing, just a bunch of little trailer houses and a bunch of good people.
Rachiel's been a great place to live. I love the history of our little community and the things that have happened, like the town was named for the little girl, first little girl that was born here.
This stone was dedicated to the little girl that the town was named after. Her name was Rachiel Jones. She was the daughter of Debbie and John Jones. She was born in 1978. The first child born in Rachiel, delivered by her father and 4 sisters and brothers. She died in 1980, May of 1980, at in Washington State after the Helena volcano. She got ash, pneumonia, and died. The stone was donated by the Tempe Ute Mine. The picture was donated by her parents, and we dedicated our cemetery, which we're still building, to Rachiel Jones and our town.
We've come out here today to the town of Rachiel to do just a brief survey of what the people think about UFOs and the UFO phenomena and what's going on out here in Dreamland, and just talk to the people. So that's what we're going to do now. Looks like a nice trailer here with a satellite dish. See here? Hello? Hello? Nothing. Well, good afternoon. Alrighty. Nice dog there. Hello. We're heading down to house number 3, trailer number 3, trying to elicit comments on the UFO phenomena here in Rachiel, Nevada.
I don't think there's nothing going on, really.
Yeah.
I lived out here for 20 years and haven't seen anything, so...
Right. What's your opinion on what's going on out here this weekend?
You really want the truth?
I want the truth.
I think it's a big host.
Yeah.
I think it's one way the Pat and Joe could make money, and because the small community out here, they can't do it, but otherwise this town is a great town. There's no drugs, there's no crime, I mean, so far. But
absolutely. What's your name?
Esther Fallis.
Esther Fallis? It's a pleasure to meet you. Okay, thanks for talking with us. Yeah.
Oh, this is the Fallises.
Still?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we'll give it a shot. Anyway, there'll be footage of knocking on the door.
Someone in there?
Yes, she's coming out.
Okay.
Sorry to disturb you. Good afternoon. We're with an independent television company, and we're trying to get responses about what you feel about the UFO phenomena around here in Rachiel. Could you have a couple of words for us?
Well, I saw one night.
Is that right? Can you tell us about it?
Well, I was coming home, and it was late at night, and I was up on this last summit, Coyote Summit, and there was a light blinking in my rearview mirror, and I thought I was being pulled over by the police. So I slowed down and almost stopped. It come out to the side of me, and it was flying, and it flew along with me for a couple of miles, and it had 3 great big square windows that the light was so bright you couldn't see in. It was like looking at a light bulb that was turned on, and then it just disappeared.
That's it. I've always thought that who are we to think we're so bloody clever to be the best there is? You know, if there's going to be UFOs or whatever, why not? We ain't the best. Is that good enough?
Well, so-called UFOs are involved with so-called mutilations. I have no doubt. The reason I have no doubt...
If there were psychotronic weapons being developed by America, they would be developed out here, because this is the place where they build whatever is new, and they test whatever is new.
I'm kind of wondering if maybe, possibly, some reptilian or serpent race came and entered into the human family by way of sexual intercourse. And as a result, a genetic combination entered into the human DNA that has spread on down through to the present day.
And also, everything that people have talked about here reinforces my belief in the Bible and the Book of Mormon.
But it's hopeless. It's hopeless. They got their own party line, and if you don't agree to it, forget it. They say, well, we're scientists. Well, I say, you may be scientists, but you don't know your butt from a hole in the ground about a UFO. I said, I'm the one that saw it. Adamski's the one that saw it. Not you, and you didn't get out of your textbooks. We're writing the damn books. And what did they do with it? They called it a chicken feeder, a tobacco humidor, And these guys are supposed to be telling us the truth, and we're supposed to rely on their judgment. Man, I wouldn't want them with me in the Pacific when the Japs come over. No way.
This photo up here was taken by a person that I don't know, but it was taken from that same vicinity, and they happened to capture what I am certain is the S-4 saucer in flight, and this was out to the west over the mountain range, the Grim Mountain Range, west of the mailbox.
I don't think the secrecy is necessary. Everyone can understand security. I mean, the government does need a place to test new materials, new weapons, if you will, new whatever technologies. But the people don't understand the secrecy. Why do they deny the existence of a base? When there's been thousands of people have seen it.
We've just started our 7th year of owning the little alien. Of course, originally it was called the Rachiel Bar and Grill. One night late, we hadn't been open terribly long, and this man came in and said he had heard about our place on the radio, on the Billy Goodman happening. After that, George Knapp came out and did the UFO Best Evidence, and we were included in that. Of course, the publicity makes it great. From the Billy Goodman happening to Larry King Live, which is coming up soon. We couldn't ask for this. We couldn't afford to ever come close to paying for this kind of publicity.
When I go to anything that's different from what I'm used to, I always take a bottle of salt. I pour a little in my hand, and when I hear some things, I take a grain of salt. Now you understand what I mean?
Sure do.
However, I want you to know that I am very, very impressed by the man that we call U-House.
Well, you know, back in 1953, I started with, well, I was come out of
Bill
service.
U-House, his story is he was recruited into a much more interesting black program that dealt with reverse engineering projects on alien technology.
They asked me to, you know, go on simulators, and
the simulator was training pilots to fly saucers.
Has this project actually been finished?
Oh yeah, simulators.
So yeah, the simulators are working out there now.
They've got simulators out here.
The aliens interface with the craft mentally through their brain waves, and apparently humans do not have sufficient self-control. Their brain waves, and they might just fly the damn thing into a mountain, right?
I've spoken to more than 24 witnesses over the years who've worked at the base, who say that in fact they did have flying saucers out there, several of them suggesting that they were of extraterrestrial or alien origin, and if you're going to have them, that would be the place where you'd have them.
Who are you actually dealing with in the Air Force? What department was in charge of something like this?
Oh, I ain't gonna answer that.
You can't answer that.
No.
Oh. But it was the Air Force.
Let me say this. The CIA runs this base.
They run the Groom Lake base?
During the course of his experiences, he met one of the aliens that was an advisory scientist on the project.
If I had a problem and I needed help or something, they brought, say, this guy Trad in.
This guy's name is Trad?
Trad, yeah.
After seeing the poster that Mr. U-House did of Trad and the report about Area 51 and other similar areas, government bases, I went over to Mr. U-House's place in Las Vegas and told him that I would like to meet Trad. This is a picture of Trad from a UFO magazine.
He's a scientist.
He's a scientist?
He's like a PhD, you know, or higher than a PhD. As a matter of fact, he's super PhD.
Really?
Compared to our PhDs.
Mr. U-House said that I would succeed and that Trad would indeed reveal himself to me, and I think it was on March 3rd that Trad did reveal himself to me.
Did you shake hands or anything like that?
Never shook hands.
Never touched him? You did actually have conversations. All your conversations were about
technical stuff.
So you didn't like chat?
No chat.
Yeah. No lunch.
No lunch.
Well, he revealed himself to me in a higher dimension. He has the ability to be physically visible, and he also has the ability, and this is part of what happens when there's interstellar space travel, they don't travel actually through the space. They go into a higher dimension and skip the space, the solid physical space in between. And when the craft does that, the people do it too. And so when he's with Mr. U-House, he's generally in that higher dimension, and that's how I was enabled to see him. Normally the human doesn't see above ultraviolet, the ultraviolet light rays, the ultraviolet spectrum. That's the limit. That's the upper limit of the human eye, and that's where trad is beyond that limit.
So I turned my attention to trying to discover the invisible things. Your eyes are limited. They go 4,000 to 7,000 nanometers, and your film will go into the shorter wavelengths, the ultraviolet gamma rays, X-rays. I get things that look like eyeballs. They're dark on one side and have a crack on the other side. Pick up little fuzzy-looking aliens with pointy ears and little white dot eyes, long noses. And they have an arm and a dark spot on them. And I think anybody can get these pictures. Just give yourself permission to be psychic. That's the key. Giving yourself permission to make contact or the desire.
Information came to me through another source that he's preparing me for that type of travel that I was just talking about, the dematerialization of the body and the interstellar travel in a flying saucer, and that I will be taking a trip like that at some point in the future, and that has yet to happen. And that's what really needs to be that's what really needs to happen in order for me to really be able to function as an ambassador. That and the acceptance, the recognition by the United States government.
What do you got, Mike? Huh? What?
Oh, there's a fire.
A what?
There's a fire.
Is the fire in the field?
We didn't see anything flying over, so we don't know if something crashed.
God, you can feel the heat
wanted
from
to
it
go.
almost.
Let's go on out there. What the fuck?
All right, babe, we're going. We're going. Let's go.
Now what happened is Pat came into the tent while the panel was going on and said there's a fire out there, and she sounded very worried. So Joe went running out there and he's taken off.
Yeah, there's Joe. I don't know how they're going to extinguish the damn thing, but there they are. You can see, and I'll bring it up a little closer here, that the truck's already out at the site, and we'll see if we can be some help here. Joe's going to let it burn out. He's letting it burn out.
Let's ask Joe here what it is.
Yeah, okay, very good. There's the fire itself, burning pretty good here.
Yeah, in the camera over here.
Yes, sir.
So what is it, Joe?
It's the dump on fire.
It's the dump?
What? Someone just set it on fire or what?
Obviously.
Any danger, Joe? Any problems?
So what's burning in there?
Trash.
Is that all?
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you later.
Right. All right, Joe. See you at the bar. Well, he didn't seem too concerned.
Something has shifted inside of me. I'm no longer just a distant camera eye, coolly observing the gallery of star children and contactees. I've become caught up in it, following Mike with complete abandon down the rabbit hole.
Last night we went up to the black mailbox. It's about 18 to 20 miles down this road, right outside of the cafe here. We saw an object in the sky with multicolored lights. It didn't appear to be a star or any kind of spectral shift.
After sundown, lectures and theory give way to our need to see the real thing. Will a UFO show up tonight? Will we be prepared? And where's the best place to see it?
Here's the mailbox right here.
Groom intersection was the big, wide intersection.
Yes.
You're going to pass Groom intersection, and you're going to go until you hit the fence.
Yeah.
We haven't hit a fence, but this seems like a very long way.
No.
Here he comes. Okay, what are we going to do, Mike? I guess we're going to see what goes on, huh?
We've hooked up with a band of UFO chasers, hell-bent on finding the best observation point.
Away we
go.
We're headed down Mailbox Road now. Before, you were not allowed to go down Mailbox Road and camp to watch the UFOs. You would have been harassed by the Lincoln County Sheriff. But now it is okay to do so. So we're headed down there amid billows of dust.
Yeah, I don't know. This road seems to be deteriorating pretty rapidly here. Hold on. Hold it there. Easy. Hold it. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. We all right? Holy smokes. That was, no, they're not going to hit us, are they? Wow.
That was a rough one.
What, we spun? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Wow.
Too fast down there.
I guess we're all right, huh?
Yep.
Nice handling there. Good heavens. This is the fence, eh, Mike?
This is it.
Yeah.
Keep out.
Keep out, it says. Bombing and gunnery range, U.S. Air Force. Oh, boy.
What you want to do is you get your bearings first so you know where you are. The fence is 12 o'clock, okay? Norio said if your arm out to the right, it's 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock's going to be right there, right about where the moon is. Any thing you see flying over there is going to be suspicious. It is military related if it's flying in that space because it's the most restricted airspace in the nation.
We seen a light, but we couldn't tell what it was.
And he caught this incredible ball of light bouncing in and out of the bushes, going down the road and coming back.
7 white round discs. Made no sound whatsoever. No sound. Back up, jump around, move around. 7 of them.
Uh-oh. Now look at that. That maneuver. That was a rapid acceleration from me to the right.
What are we seeing?
What I just saw was a reddish light that was well above the horizon.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was not peeking up and down over the ridge. It was well above the horizon line. This was moments ago.
So this is where the action is then.
Oh, I just saw something.
Look at there, it goes up in the air. Oh my God! Wait a minute. What is that? Right there, right there. Look, look. I know, I see it. Is it on the ground? I don't know.
That's
like
security.
Shit, it's a camo dude.
We're screwed. We're screwed.
Come on, you guys, let's go. Let's go. Come on, I'm not kidding. Let's go. Let's go. There's nothing. Get out of here.
Kind of makes the heart flutter when they're coming at you with those lights.
We're safe on the other side, right? I think we're okay.
2 of them. One of them smoking a cigarette.
I still think we should get out of here because they could take our cameras.
Oh, he's looking right at us. Calm down. Just calm down. I mean, he's looking right at us through the binoculars.
Don't you think it might be time for us to skedaddle?
We're dealing with some pretty serious, strange stuff here.
No, hit him with the light.
He's going up the hill.
He's moving?
Boarded? How'd you sleep?
Froze my butt off. Where am I sleeping tonight? That's my question. Is there a hotel near here? I'm serious.
I'm sure you are.
Do not sleep well.
Well, the light emissions is marginal to react around the interaction with the atmosphere.
Robert Lazar. This fellow who's going to be speaking here today is Robert Lazar, who is this physicist who claims to have worked at Papoose Lake, south of Area 51, back engineering the power propulsion system for recovered crashed flying saucers, so that the government could then figure out how they worked and build their own.
If you see that photograph or that illustration that Bob Lazar's got, that's pretty accurate.
Really?
Yeah, that's very accurate as a matter of fact.
The difference between Lazar and your typical liar is that he does not embellish his tale. It stays constant over time. It's extremely disciplined and restrained. He doesn't say he saw any aliens. He just said he worked with some hardware, and this is a very limited amount of things that he saw, and he will not go beyond that, and that counts as in his favor.
You know, I don't think we'll ever be able to prove definitively that Bob worked at Area 51, but there are a lot of things that stand out in my mind. One is that he knew when and where the saucer test would take place. There were no big news stories about flying saucers at Groom Lake until Bob came along, and he knew when and where the test would take place. They were at Wednesday nights at a certain time. He brought people out here to see them four times in a row. I've interviewed the witnesses who said that he brought them out here. How did he know it if he didn't work here?
And I truly believe Bob Lazar. When he was on the radio with us, I just felt, I have feelings about people, and I felt that he was totally sincere.
Mike, what's your view, huh?
My view is that Robert Lazar is a little overwhelmed with the attention he gets. He's the star of ufology. He's got his adoring fans and the media circus, the paparazzi, of which I have to admit that I am to some degree a part of.
There's a special effects company in Hollywood.
What is your synopsis in a nutshell?
My synopsis of what I know to be true?
Yes.
The government is holding 9 alien spacecraft that are propelled by a modified gravity generator. The work is being conducted 15 miles south of Groom Lake at that isolated area only, designated as S4. At least one of those crafts operate. It was a weapons development program, and they were more concerned about duplicating the hardware as opposed to back engineering the technology to find out how these theories actually work. Though, because no one has really gotten anywhere, they were looking to me for fresh ideas, which I really didn't have anything because I didn't know what really was going on or where they had been. So they really weren't taking the scientific approach, and that was causing some dissension.
Two things. Do you think they'll ever release this information? And if they don't, how do you think it'll ever come out? Or will it be something like what you're doing?
Well, hopefully it's not this way. Hopefully there's going to be a release of information eventually, but it almost seems to me that they need a staged incident to get them off the hook. Take a flying saucer up in a C-130 and push it out the back and say, look, it crashed.
It's jumping around. It's very light.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's a white.
It is tumbling. It's definitely tumbling. Tumbling in place. I can see it. There might be a crash.
Go down in the middle of that. Down.
General Vandenberg said himself, you can't tell the people this, you can't announce this shit. There'd be a stampede. Burn the document. Burn the report that tells about the abductions. Burn the report that tells about the cattle mutilations.
Who is mutilating you and why? We can't help you unless you be totally honest with us.
This again is why they should have open hearings in Congress to get the facts as straight as we can while there's still a few living witnesses. Because 2 months ago we lost Dora Bauer, we could lose Madeline any minute, maybe me, and Hans Peterson in Denmark, and all of us are part of the original story. And they're screwing up because we could all help them straighten it out and get it straight. But damn, I think that's what they want. If they just stall a little longer, then we're all gone, and then they'll tell it like they want it, like they've been telling it.
I don't know if the UFOs are good or bad. Do you?
I have no idea. You hoping
I don't know. Some of the stories I hear, they're bad dudes.
They're made by God just like you and I are. But they're just from another planet. They're not weird, or they're not going to hurt us. If they were going to hurt us, this valley would not be here.
Even the aliens themselves, if the Earth is being observed by aliens, I don't think that it is really as important as people think it is. You still got to solve your problems here. Deal with your own problems here on Earth without the help of the aliens.
I don't think necessarily that they're still there. It wouldn't seem to make sense that they're still there because since they put this story out, or since this story has come out, so many thousands of people have trekked out here, media organizations, aviation buffs, UFO buffs, folks looking for whatever it is that's flying around in the sky, that they've drawn so much attention that I don't think they would fly alien craft around in these skies anymore if in fact they had them.
I'm just like a lot of other people. I'm baffled by these experiences, but I have a curiosity that drives me to try to understand what the big picture is, who these beings are, why they are here, and where we came from and where we are going. I mean, all the big questions we have.
This is a dog-eat world, and that's a dog-eat universe out there. That's no kidding either. That's the way I believe.
I believe that I am meant to keep getting people together and bringing them up here for an education in all kinds of aspects of life. I believe people who are into UFOs also want to learn more about the meaning of life, and they
Well, as of yesterday, the 26th of May, 1995, the Assembly of the State of Nevada voted 40-0 to pass Assembly Bill 533, which designates State Highway 375 the extraterrestrial alien highway.
Today is the official opening of the extraterrestrial highway, and scores of spectators, UFO personalities, and the media are arriving by caravan from Las Vegas.
Mr. Neighbors in his news release says that this legislation is putting out the welcome mat for extraterrestrial visitors. So once this welcome mat is fully put out by the entire legislature and the governor makes an official invitation, then very common humanoid-looking beings, extraterrestrials that are already here, some of them will identify themselves, that have been concealing their identity, and then others who look very odd, they will also be coming and visiting with us out in the open and in public.
As a publicity stunt for the upcoming alien invasion movie Independence Day, in which Area 51 is depicted, and as a promotion for the highway, the state has joined forces with 20th Century Fox to place a time capsule in Rachiel. A press conference is being held inside a tent under tight security, and most of the hundreds of people here aren't being allowed in. Not even Ambassador Merlin, whose lobbying efforts started the whole thing.
Rachiel residence exploded! Whose highway is it? Fox bought the highway! The governor sold the highway to Fox!
Glenn, what do you got against the ET highway?
No, the governor never consulted Rachiel residents. He excluded everybody, damn it. He consulted with Fox. He sold the highway to Fox, goddammit. Come on.
Not everyone here is happy with the whole ET highway thing,
It's hot.
but they haven't let it stop the celebration. No one seems to mind when the black mailbox, a symbol of the mystery out here, is sold at auction to the highest bidder for $1,000. The rebel spirit is strong out here. Old-fashioned pioneer individualism kicking up a little dust in Big Brother's face, demanding to be let in on the cosmic joke.
Where I was born, early old frosty morn, look away, Dixieland. Hey!
Mike, I think this was a good weekend.
Yeah, I think it worked out very well. I'm very pleased with it. And I'm moving here.
As for me, I've come to realize that what I once feared about these people,
Rachel, Nevada, home of
I now embrace.
infinite possibilities.
Those I once regarded as strange have become strangely familiar.
You took a bump here. You feel weak or anything?
Okay, we hit a cow. We hit a cow. The car is bad off. As you can see, I'm probably bleeding. Can you see me in there?
Yeah.
The windshield, something went into the windshield.
Oh, look, your blood is on the windshield.
But the front of the car, maybe the cow.
This is what the bull's head hit.
There's the bull's blood. It pushed the steering wheel in on me.
Let me see you again. How are you, all right? Oh, God. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvaha.
Okay.
Om Namah.
We would return to Rachiel many times over the next few years, but by the turn of the millennium, interest in Area 51 had begun to wane. The Area 51 Research Center closed and Glenn Campbell moved to Las Vegas. The UFO gatherings continued, but smaller and less frequent. And a new controversial whistleblower emerged, claiming to have worked with an alien being at Area 51. And people still gathered at the now white mailbox and saw things in the night sky.
With lightning speed right toward us.
We've had a sighting in this valley for the past 3 or 4 evenings, and it is a triangular-shaped craft. It appears to be a very, very large craft, and it's been seen by a number of people.
Are you guys watching this?
Well, okay.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Holy shit.
What is it?
This is weird, isn't it?
Oh, I see.
That's not a cow. Here comes one. I just felt blinded.
In the year 2000, Giant Rock, which in Native American legend embodied the heart of Mother Earth, and where, for me, this whole odyssey had begun, split in two, fulfilling a prophecy said to usher in the dawn of a new era, a time the ancients called a great shift.
And I say hello.
Billy Goodman passed away.
Billy Goodman happening, the only scientific spiritual happening anywhere in the entire universe.
And Bill Clendenin, much as he had predicted.
We could lose Madeline any minute, maybe me.
This is a dog-eat world.
At his own request, Bill Newhouse's death in 2009 was kept a secret. But as with most secrets, it leaked out before long.
On October the 15th, they are taking 380 more acres.
LaRae Fletcher passed.
North of us.
What I just saw,
as did one of the contributors to this film, videographer Rob Lead.
It was not peeking up and down over the ridge. It was well above the horizon line.
Joe Travis died in 2003. The little alien continues.
We're going on. We have something living here, and we have to keep it. We have to keep going. This has to be an open information area, as it has been all along, where anybody can come in here and talk.
The mission of first contact will be completed in 3 years when the Alpha Centaurians make their public contact on the extraterrestrial highway.
In 2001, the body of David Solomon, aka Ambassador Merlin II, was found in the desert behind a brothel where he had lain undiscovered for several weeks. Merlin had become a breatharian, convinced he could gain all the sustenance he needed from the air. He starved to death.
Dematerialization of the body and the interstellar travel in a flying saucer, and that I will be taking a trip like that at some point in the future, and that has yet to happen.
I wonder if he ever got that ride on a UFO.